Those little delicious heavenly parcels of goodness are an absolute must try because they are the perfect dinner party finger food or an appetizer. They are so easy to make and are so delicious. Literally all you need to do is make the filling, whack it in that filo pastry and then put it in the oven and then it's ready. It's just so delicious. Oh, the combination of that flaky pastry with the garlic and the spring onion and the mushroom and the other veg is so delicious. This recipe is super easy to make, so it makes no time to prep, and it will impress you and it will impress every guest that you will ever make this for. If you guys haven't subscribed, then please hit the button down below because I will be posting you delicious vegan Middle Eastern recipes every other Wednesday, so make sure you stay tuned. Alright, so how to make these amazing little delicious bites of heaven. So I'm going to be teaching you how to make 3 different fillings with a whole packet of filo pastry. So obviously if you just want to make 1, then just time it by 3. So yeah, just time the quantities by 3. Or if you just want to make 2 as well, just do the math. But I think it's always nice to give a variety for your guests, and none of the fillings are that hard to make or complicated, so I would recommend you make the 3 if you wanted to. So make sure that you've prepared a tahini sauce, which is so easy to make. All you need to do is mix 5 tablespoons of tahini with 1 lemon or 2, 1 clove of garlic, parsley and some soy sauce. You can watch how to make it in details in one of my other videos, link is in the description below. Perfect. Okay, so that's our tahini. Now let's put our frying pan on a high to medium heat, and then we just want to add a little bit of oil. Of course you can, as I always say, olive oil is the healthiest oil until it's heated, so use rapeseed oil or sunflower oil. Rapeseed oil is the healthiest, I'll tell you that. So let's just wait for the oil to heat up so then we can add our lovely mushrooms with some spring onions and onions. Okay, now let's add some of our spring onions and garlic. Not garlic, sorry, the normal onions. The garlic. A teaspoon of sumac. If you can't find sumac, don't worry about it. Just use za'tar if you have some, and if you don't have za'tar, then use thyme, normal thyme. But I'm going to use a teaspoon of sumac and a teaspoon of za'tar. Is smelling insanely good, so we just want to keep doing it. Actually, I'm going to have a little drizzle of tahini. You don't have to add that, but I think tahini goes so beautifully with everything. But as I said, you need to make sure that the filling at the end of this is dry, absolutely dry. No one wants soggy bottom. Soggy pastry is not the one, that's for sure. Let's just keep frying them until they are the driest they can be. Add a little bit more onions. As I always say, just do things up to your eye. You add a little bit, you might want more, and as I always say, add too little is always better than adding too much, because you can always take away, but you can't. No, the wrong way around. You can always add, but you can't take away. And I kind of want to do the same exactly pretty much for the other sauces, but I will go through all of them one by one. And just keep mixing it until there is no more water in the frying pan and it's a completely dry mixture. Oh my god, you know what I forgot is our lovely nutritional yeast. I love nutritional yeast, as I'm sure all vegans do. I'm going to add a tablespoon and a half of nutritional yeast. Right, that will do, I reckon. I can't see any liquid anymore. Yeah, let's whack it in a plate and carry on with our next filling. I'm just going to use the same saucepan because it already has all these juices and lovely things that we kind of want to incorporate in all of our fillings. So now on to our spinach one. Just a handful of spinach.
And everything else we added in the last one, really. So, nutritional yeast, 1.5 tablespoons. And then a teaspoon of sumac and a teaspoon of za'tar. As I said, if you can't find sumac or za'tar, just use normal thyme. Right, that will do. It's cooked, it's crispy, everything's integrated. Alright, now onto our cauliflower filling. So just add a bit of oil and then whack in our lovely cauliflower and our lovely garlic. A sprinkle of sumac. So all we need to do now is just get those cauliflower quite nice and crispy. And just keep them on one side so they can get nice and crispy on here, and then we can flip them. And just give them a bit of time. They're not as quick as mushrooms and the spinach, and that's the thing. If you are rushing on time, then don't do the cauliflower. But look at them. They're actually getting crisp quite quickly. So we just want to make sure that the cauliflower gets crispy yet tender. To be fair, they were quite tender from boiling them. Right, I think that is good. We don't want to burn them. We just want them to be nice and crispy. If there's one side that still needs crispening out, just flip it. Right, I think that will do. You know, those ones look a little bit burned, but it's fine. So just make sure they don't get burned and just nicely golden brown. And now let's put everything into the filo pastries and then put them in the freezer and then put them in the oven and we're done. Sorry if I speak too fast and I sometimes feel like I'm rapping. I'm just so energetic. Okay, and now let's get started with putting things in our filo pastry. So let's just get our first one. As I said, be delicate. Okay, so now you need to have a cup of melted butter, and then you just kind of want to whack it in on all of them. And I personally love using my hands, as you've seen in other videos, but if you've got a brush, just use a brush. Okay, and let's start with the mushroom one. So we want a heaped teaspoon and put it in the middle. There we are, and just pinch it and do this, and there we are. A teaspoon or two, and then just try to be as delicate as you can, because filo pastry can be just fragile, but you know what, even if it tears, like, it's not a problem. Like, as you saw in baklava, mine used to tear, and that's the thing, like, a lot of people think that cooking has to be perfect, but the opposite really. Cooking's all about trial and error, about making mistakes and learning from them. And all you're gonna do is just pinch them like this, like a little parcel. Oh, look at our little dumplings. I mean, they're not dumplings, what are they called? I'm just gonna call them dumplings. They're not dumplings, they're definitely not. Look at our little filo pastry bites. They've been in the freezer for 10 minutes, so quite hard and lovely, and now I'm just going to put them in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes until they are golden brown, and then we're done. And we're all done. Now all you need is to dip them in the lovely tahini sauce, and as we say in Arabic, صحتين وعافية. Don't forget to tag me or send me a picture if you do attempt to make this or any of my other recipes, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, because I will be posting new delicious vegan Middle Eastern recipes every other Wednesday, so make sure you stay tuned.